Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
With a quick one.
Woohoo!
America! How you doing? We know you missed us. We missed y'all, but we're back, and you are
You're welcome.
welcome. Absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. We should do it right now like Trump did to Putin right in the beginning. Just fly some B-6. What is it?
Dude.
Is it B-16? What's the number?
I don't know. I'll just call it the stealth bomber and escorted by a couple of, F whatever they are now.
Yeah, that was the big week. Time stamping this. We're doing this on a Sunday, year of our Lord. Let's see, August. What is it?
17th.
August 17th today, the day we record this. Belated happy birthday to my cousin Brian was yesterday.
As was my baby girl.
Your daughter's?
Yeah, she turned 18 yesterday.
Fantastic. So she shares a birthday with both my cousin Brian and Madonna.
Oh, Lord. All right. I didn't know
Lord
that.
is right. Yeah.
I could have gone a while without knowing that.
And I believe it's the day Elvis passed away.
You're right. It is.
There you go. There you go. Man, just knowledge just falling out my ears.
I was driving down Highway 308 by Blaine Thibodeau's house when I heard the news that Elvis had passed away.
You were driving? You were old enough to be driving?
I was in a car. I just collectively call that driving.
I was a kid, man. I was floating in our spacious, I'm not sure if it was the 3-foot tall model or the 4-foot tall model we had, the above ground pool.
Nice.
In Galliana.
Did y'all have a deck around it?
We did not have a deck. We had
that's the ultimate class right there.
Yeah, no, the original 3-footer, that one was just blue with a little white trim around it, little pump. And then a year or 2 years later, I guess my dad decided, we were nothing if not luxurious. We went with a 4-foot.
Dude, he must have got a bonus that year.
You might have, man. I don't know if they gave bonuses to school assistant principals back then, but we got a 4-foot, and it had around it was sort of like a 6-inch aluminum,
like a lip.
Kind of. You could stand on it. They told you not to. Of course we did.
Of course.
But that was the fancy one because those were aluminum. There's literally. It's funny. You look back to how things were made back then. You could get pools, above ground pools that weren't rust proof. Like that. So you'd have to watch yourself on the rust. But yeah. So I was floating in the pool. My mom or somebody came out and said, Elvis died.
Dead.
And it's funny. So that was, 40 something, 50 something year, whatever, how long ago it was. And I remember being in the pool thinking, I didn't know he was alive. And he was a young man. I think he was 42.
42. Yeah.
Yeah. Good grief. Guys like us, man, that's like, we look back to 42. Most of the stuff on our bodies still worked at 42.
Yeah. I was in good shape then.
I told you I had a guy I worked with in Memphis. I worked at a company headquartered in Memphis, and Dave Roberts. Shout out Dave Roberts. I don't know if Dave watches this. He'd be the kind of guy that would watch this and never tell me. But super dude. Dave was the most interesting. I joked about the most interesting man in the world. I mean, the guy's a CPA. He was the CFO of the company I worked for, but he was an adventurer, man. This guy. Like, I want to say he climbed in the Alps. He, when Cuba first opened up for a little bit, he was one of the first people there in Cuba. He's like an outdoor, he's an adventurous kind of dude, but he lived in Memphis. He grew up in Memphis, and his parents' house was either adjacent to neighborhood or anyway, close to Elvis. I don't think Graceland, but I think wherever he lived around, in Memphis.
So before.
But apparently one of the stories was his mom, Dave Roberts' mom, met Elvis one day when Elvis jumped the fence into their backyard because he was hiding from, I guess, photographers or reporters or whoever was chasing him down. But
nice.
He jumped into
Nice.
the back. And later on, this is a much sadder story. Dave was apparently really good friends with the son of a local pharmacist. And it was not a rare thing where Elvis would come banging on their door late in the evening and just walk his butt on in the house and read. He knew the pharmacist had stuff on it, so he was Elvis self-prescribed
Self-serve pharmacy.
some of the stuff he did back then. But so rest in peace, Elvis.
Yeah, there you go. Well, speaking of self-service, there was a little down the bayou story. I think it was last week. The recently former police chief in Golden Meadow, Troy Dufresne.
Now you gotta say that because you sound like me. I know I say this and I don't hear it later. He's not a farmer. He's a former.
Former, yeah, there you go. I know the difference in the word. I may not pronounce it differently.
Myself, I do it the same way. He's a farmer. Like, oh wait, I catch myself doing that all the time.
Former, F-O, as opposed to F-A.
As in used to be.
He was recently defeated, I think, in a close yet contentious race.
I did not get the whole story on this. And what's his name again?
His name is Troy Dufresne.
Did they give his age?
Let me see. I got the story right.
It sounds like he has. I had to go to school with this guy, or at least
he's gray. I mean, he's got gray hair, gray beard. Let's see. I'm not seeing his age on the story that I'm reading.
Okay. And I'm not stuck up, y'all. It's not like I don't know everybody. Well, first of all, I don't know everybody I went to school with. I barely.
Right.
There are people I graduated with that to this day. And these are the survivors. We're 40 plus years into this. I see pictures of reunions, and I'm literally 40 years down the line going, I probably couldn't have recognized you when you were 18. But
that's the good part about it now. It doesn't matter if you recognize them or not because you don't have to feel bad. It's been a long time. But so anyway, apparently he was a little ticked off that he lost the race. So on his way out, as any good public servant does, or angry employee, deleted all kind of police records, deleted all just documents. I think, let me go back to the story, how many years worth of stuff.
I remember reading the story. Was it like 9 years, maybe?
I think it was more than that. Let's see. Felony, malfeasance in office, computer tampering, and just a $15,000 bond. So not a lot.
I'm impressed Golden Meadow has records that long. I really do.
Over a decade's worth of records after losing his reelection bid. So
folks, okay. And look, it's easy. It's easy for guys like us. Armchair quarterbacks, experts. We are experts on things that we don't know little. We know little about. But really, you ain't got backup. You ain't got. You got.
Well, both, right? Number one, you think you're not gonna get caught from doing that, and number two, you got no backup, or maybe he deleted the backup.
And why in the world? I don't care if he's in charge of everything. I don't care if he's a chief of. Was he the chief of police?
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna guess. Let's go out on let's say I'm guessing this is alleged, right? I mean,
he's charged with it.
Correct. So I'm not passing judgment one way or the other. Like I said, I think I probably would have had to, maybe not in the same class. He's probably younger than me, but how it is. Like when you
nothing else, people who know him.
Yeah, because somebody will throw out a name and say, "Oh, you know that guy," and then you just don't want to go down that path. I remember that. I don't remember, but not saying he did it or didn't do it, but I don't care what position you're in. But unless you're the head of IT, I can't imagine that anybody would have access to permanently destroy.
Yeah, you got to figure that's a pretty big deal because it's not basically just your Microsoft Windows account.
You think? All right. I wonder if that's people's criminal records and.
Yeah, I think anybody who owed fines and stuff like that. And
he'd be a hero. See, that's a little. He might
get reelected if he gets out.
He'd be the most popular guy in Golden Meadow. I mean, some folks won't like it, but if you had a meth charge hanging over your head, you got a new hero.
All gone. What meth charge?
Never happened. Control Alt Delete. Or whatever. So let's go back to one of the Dave and Juan refrains. Hey, Golden Meadow, do better.
Yeah, don't do better. That, man. Just do better.
Try to do better. And here's what I'm wondering did the rest of Lafourche Parish, upon hearing this, say, Koyai, bruh, we backed up? Hey, no, seriously, man. Let me go check my Google Drive. Back that stuff up.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I was a little surprised that Golden Meadow had its own police chief.
Well, somebody's got to do those tickets. I mean, I'm guessing it's Golden Meadow still the speed trap that
I think since they got the new road back in the mid '80s or early '80s,
the new road. Or as we had the new road, and then later on they extended it, as my friend Raleigh calls it, the new road. And to this day, decades later, if somebody says, yeah, the new road, there you go.
You know. I was in Homer the other day, and I asked this lady where something was, and she gave me the road name. I said, "Oh, you mean Main Project Road?" Yeah. She said, "What?" I said, "Well, as we called it in the '80s."
Main Project Road is which one?
That was the one cutting from Thibodeau to Homer. Main
Project Road. It might have. I don't know. Hey, also shout out again. So those of you in Lafourche Parish, which you're going to know what we're talking about. Those of you that aren't, just close your mind's eye and just pretend you know what we're talking about. But I'll give a shout out finally. So when you're heading from, I guess, Homer to Thibodeau, I don't know if you call it the main project, whatever.
Burglar Rose Highway.
No. This is when you're coming in from not 311. Well, 311 comes in, but then it's Audubon ends on whatever that road is.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's like a Casino Magic, and there's
yeah.
There's a Walmart,
it
neighborhood
back
market,
at that Brown Road, maybe
something like that. For years, that was one of the most dangerous turns. Dude, that was not just like lose a tire. That was lose an axle, drop off. I don't know, somebody. So I want to give credit to somebody finally fixed that thing. They finally, and it shows you how easy we are to impress sometimes. Every time, because my wife, it's probably been fixed now for 6 months, a little over 6 months. We've probably driven it a handful of times. And she's so tired of hearing me every time we pass by. I'm like, "Oh, look how nice this is. Look how he fixed this. You can ride on this and not mess up your tires." And doesn't take much to keep us Cajuns happy, yo.
That's right, dude. Just a little, move the hole, move the road, fix the road. We good.
Man, you fix us a pothole and we like, reelect whoever that is. Whoever filled that pothole, reelect that guy. But
well, you know who's not getting reelected? I don't think she was up for reelection anyway. With your girl Latoya.
Latoya the Destroyer.
Now here's, what was she? She's indicted on 12, 11, 17 counts.
Didn't even read what she was indicted on, but and I'm not picking on her, but I didn't have to read it. I believe it. Yes. Yes.
Right. So you see all the political leaders in New Orleans saying, well, remember, innocent until proven guilty. And I said, no, that's in the eyes of the court. That bunch. That's in the eyes of the court. That ain't in my eyes.
There's nothing you could throw me out any New Orleans politician and throw out a crime, and maybe they could say necrophilia, and I'm like, yep, I bet, that's sort of a.
Well, apparently she and her security guard boyfriend thought WhatsApp was an encrypted app. And that's where they were texting back and forth with all of their, rendezvous and, we're going to go on this trip. And you're going to be, I'm going to get the city to cover that. And don't worry about this.
So basically
everything that they've been accusing her of.
Admitting to malfeasance in writing.
Yeah. Through WhatsApp.
There you go. Well, and the sad part is with Latoya, she's not even the most incompetent New Orleans.
No.
You still got that police chief. You still got Granny Big Hat.
Yeah.
Whatever, she's still there. Oh, on that, did you see? So, and we're going to circle back too. I want to talk about the Trump Putin thing. We'll get back to global politics after we finish with Golden Meadow and New Orleans politics. But So DC, which is a bleep hole. I mean, Washington D.C. has become. I'm sorry, it just
I thought crime or crime stats were at a 30-year low, Dave.
right. Well, and here's the other thing. Those of you that may have heard that, may of you that have said like, oh, all the crime stats are, yes, crime's gotten better. It is purely because across the country, most major cities, they started redefining what crime is.
Right. Stop arresting people, and
They've both stopped arresting people and changed, yeah, just not even charging, or even if somebody's arrested, just letting them go and not. So it's all been, it's
yeah,
fake.
I think I read that in Washington D.C., if you're if you're 17 and you shoot somebody and they don't die, no charge. It's just like, we'll give you like a little. Yeah, you ain't going to jail. You're going to like this little rehab stuff.
17 or under, if you shoot somebody and they don't die. Okay. That's what you get what you get. That's what
It's just mischief.
DC has become. Well, did you see the clip during the week circulating? And I don't know how to say this. Like you point out something that seems a little odd, but once you see it, 5, 6, 10 times, makes you wonder, is there a major U.S. city today who does not have a female police chief?
Double box check.
Okay, listen, you know what I'm saying? Just after a while, you say, wait, let me go, because all right, so the police chief of D.C. is on camera. And this was after the Trump administration, Trump basically, but they came out and said, yeah, we're rolling in National Guard. And what's ticking off a lot of the press, and I would say the liberals in the press, but I repeat myself, right? What's ticking them off is that most of the locals in D.C. are thrilled.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like even national level or national media correspondents said, thank you.
Yeah. and local, local citizens, the quote unquote poor African American neighborhoods are like, yeah, thank you. Now granted, again, if you're one of the people shooting, if you're on the shooting side and the looting side and the robbing side,
right. Too bad for you.
You don't like hearing that. If you're in the living in a tent in a public park on meth side, you don't want to hear that. But everybody else is like, yeah, it'd be kind of nice to
take a stroll to my car in my driveway.
Be nice to have my car still there in the morning.
Yeah.
Be nice to, worry a little less about getting robbed every time I leave my house. So it's pretty popular. But, when Trump steps in and says, yeah, we're federalizing, what's going on. And so the police chief is on camera, and one of the reporters asks her, so what does this mean now? What is the chain of command? What is the chain of command? And she was not joking. You can tell it wasn't like she wasn't being smart aleck. She was literally asking, what does that mean? So the police chief of D.C. did not understand
our nation's capital.
Nation's capital. Did not understand the concept of chain of command.
Now, let me say this. I understand what that means. I've not been a law enforcement officer not been in the military, not ever viewed myself as following a commander.
Right.
I know what that means. But have you been in the military, Dave, or in law enforcement?
I have not.
Yeah, but you know what that is.
It's a term we use for everything. I mean, even in business, it's chain of command, right? I mean, you report to somebody.
Yeah, who's the boss?
That's right. It's somebody else's call. Somebody makes that decision, and even if you have the authority to make a decision, doesn't mean you don't report up to somebody else. So in the chain of command, if you're doing whatever, for the most part, I mean, I'm sure there's some examples.
Bottom line is, you should know.
Bottom line, if you're the police chief of the nation's capital,
right? I bet the police chief of Golden Meadow, the former police chief of Golden Meadow, Troy Dufresne, knew that.
Dufresne or Duce? Dufresne.
Dufresne.
Troy Duce used to be my buddy. Shout out, Troy. Troy Duce used to be the guy that would give us the the working man weather report.
Oh, all right, all
There's a
right.
guy I
From the
call
British.
him. Bro, it's hot. Already got a sweat broken. It's a double shot of deodorant kind of day. I hope that guy's still around. I miss that guy. I was, and again, I'm all over the place here. I don't know why we talked about old times. Something happened. Oh, so my buddy Raleigh, we were texting during the week, and I don't know, he said something about so and so. This guy that we went to school with is, I guess, having some kind of reunion or something. Like probably like him. For us old guys that graduated, and I had to remind him that dude don't like me. Like
That don't matter. Just
I
go.
would not. I probably would not. It's just nothing personal. I probably wouldn't go to, but it's just so funny. Like old as I am, I turned 60 last week, and I'm texting with one of my oldest friends saying, "Bruh, you don't remember that dude hates me, man. He don't want me at his house."
Maybe he's over it.
No, he's not. He's not. I saw him at a wedding. He's not over it. I tried. I did the. I think I might have mentioned this before. It's when you
I think, yeah.
nothing more aggravating than when you swallow it and go, man.
Right, when you think you're trying to be the nice guy,
I'm
stepping
gonna be
down
the big guy.
to his level.
I'm gonna be the guy that says, "All right, man, come on, we're old and whatever." And nope, apparently not. Apparently not. So I went, no, not gonna do it. And it got me thinking about. It's amazing how our brains work, dude. I'm on this planet a long time, and like all of us, and yourself is included, right? You take in all kinds of information, and you hope that you can hang on to the important information, but not always, right? In school in school it's basically about remember stuff to be able to regurgitate it in a short amount of time, and then you totally forget it, right? You don't. That's why you don't remember 95% of what they teach you in school. You don't remember. But you can remember the instances when somebody said something mean to you or some true
Yeah, man. It's the emotional aspect of it.
picked
Hurt my
on
feelings.
you. Oh, dude. If he's still out there, I remember when Paul Gaugier gave me like with football was saying something about I bet I could throw a better spiral than you because I was a quarterback, right? And apparently that's and I don't even know why, but I remember being with some other guys standing before football practice, throwing the ball so you could throw the cleaner spiral. And I'm thinking, why do I remember that? Why do I remember like you freaking chew? Like you're not a quarterback.
Look, man, I remember my friend Gary was a couple years older than me, but he was still my good friend, like in elementary school. And I don't know, I guess he was trying to show off for somebody, some older kids, and he, hit me on the head with his book. Just, nothing hurt, but just kind of smacked me on the top of my head. And I remember how much that hurt my feelings, just being a jerk for no reason.
What's his name?
Gary.
Yeah, suck on it, Gary.
Yeah, Gary's sucking on the dirt right now.
There's gone. Yeah. I had a couple guys like that too. Yeah, but even your friends. That was the thing back in the day. Even the people that you were good
Gary,
friends.
that may have been Gary's first true move, but it wasn't his last.
Wasn't his last true.
So, yeah.
And I realize those of you that are just catching up to the podcast, I think, is this 220? I think this might be the 220.
Yeah, I think it's 220.
So when we say true, that's the Cajun word for butt, ass. We don't curse, but we don't. So if I say somebody's a chew, that's a quack.
It's not a great thing.
A quack chew is crazy. That's a crazy, right? But yeah, who else I was thinking about, man? Guys used to tell. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm probably gonna run into some of these guys now. Some of them still alive. Be just my luck. I'd be like, I'd be like ready for AARP and finally throwing down with some of these jerks. I guess that's always been my attitude. My hope is that I could try to stay in good enough shape that when I'm really, that I could still throw a punch into my mid 60s and run into some of these bullies, and hopefully they just can't barely lift their arms anymore.
Well, it was funny because I said a couple of weeks ago, I hired a young fella to work with me, and he graduated from Nichols, and I think he's about 25. But we were talking the other day, and he just, he was an athlete in high school and stuff, but he said, at my age, I still look around and think, I could take him. I said, at your age, bro, I was your age 40 years ago, and I still do that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, and I won't. but if I had to,
I was reminded. So, I'm of the age where I go for long walks now. I used to run up till about, I'm obviously coming up on 2 years now that, my knees got really bad at a stretch. And I mean, they were just way too much pain. And I'm one of these couillons, that even later, into my late 50s, even though my legs and my knees would hurt, I ran. My attitude was always, they're going to hurt anyway. So I'd go for a jog, and some days were better than others, and some days were pretty bad. And then it got to a point where it's just like, man, I thought I was, I couldn't sleep. I was hurting so much pain. So I stopped, and I didn't run for a long time. And eventually I'm lucky. Eventually, I guess, whatever, arthritis or tendonitis or whatever the hell it is. And I hadn't run in forever. I've been walking and feeling pretty good. I can walk and, I went for a walk a couple of days ago, and I didn't look at the weather before I left. It's summer, man. You got pop-up thunderstorms and stuff. And I'm walking, I'm well over a mile, and I probably walk, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles when I take my little thing. And I'm well over a mile, maybe almost 2 miles from my house, and I went over this bridge, this pretty sizable. Trying to think. I don't think it's quite as big as like the Intracoastal in La Rose, but it's in that league, okay? And I'm on the other
side. Like at a big arch?
Yeah, big arch. Probably not quite as big, but it's noticeable. And I'm on the other side of it. And I got my earbuds on, I'm not paying attention, and I just hear and I look up, and man, I saw the lightning. And I'm what you don't want to be when a thunderstorm is rolling in?
At a high point.
Walking on a bridge. So I'm like, let me see. So I broke into a jog. I haven't jogged, dude, in 2 years. Luckily, I was wearing my hokus, whatever you call it. I was wearing my cushy shoes. And as I'm jogging, I'm like, man, it didn't hurt. And I'm going uphill. And I'm like, wow. And I get up top and I start jogging a little. Now, jogging downhill is harder than going uphill. People don't realize this, especially those of you that don't have bad knees. It's harder going downhill because you're kind of putting on the brakes. But
it's still, I mean, I've got a really bad knee, and just walking upstairs, no problem. Walking downstairs,
it's tough.
Like I take it one leg at a time.
So I'm jogging down, and like part of me is like, man, I'm like happy. I'm like, I can maybe run. And then I thought this would be just how God works. I'm gonna get struck by lightning.
You're gonna die.
But God's gonna give me like 30 seconds before I die of thinking, oh, bruh, I'm back.
I'm back.
But didn't. Got back. It was great, and then I kind of swole up a little bit. But not painful. Sort of like enough that, hey, don't do that anymore. But I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I'm officially. I ran into somebody the other day, and she asked me, she goes, hey, you still running? I'm like, man.
Not on purpose.
From the law. Yeah, now I'm like that poster T-shirt now. If you see me running, right, shoot whatever's chasing me.
Like I've said, I ain't even gonna run for that. I'm gonna just give it up.
Learn to fight. You should try to go back to your kicking people in the head days. But so all good. We did close the story here on had the bees removed from my house. Those of you,
dude, that looked from a viewer standpoint, it looked really cool.
Yeah. So those of you that didn't catch the podcast last week, I talked about discovered I had bees in the soffit above our front door, and so the guy gets out here on that Monday morning. He was there bright and early. By the way, that's what happens too when people that work with bees. They get there early because
it's hotter because the bees are more dormant.
They're more dormant. They're more docile. So he was cool. I liked him. I got a bee education to the point, dude. And I found this out. I don't have enough property, but in Texas, apparently, and I don't know how it is in Louisiana, you have to have at least 5 acres, but you can have from 5 to 10 acres, and you can raise bees on it and get a tax exemption. In Texas, bro, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's freaking huge, man. That's the problem with one of the problems with Texas. And Texas is a great state. I like it here.
You got a big property tax.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I mean, it is. You can say all you want about, we don't have any state income tax. Well, that's a positive. But let me tell you something. They more than nail you on property taxes. In fact, income tax might be a more fair way to do it because if you're older or whatever and you're not making much income, you're not paying much income tax. You're older and you own a house that they
Yeah,
just
still,
rent.
yeah.
Every freaking year they lie to you and pretend that it went up in value, and your taxes go up. I mean, it's just it's insane.
Yeah,
But
it didn't
anyway,
go up in value to you
right. But the
because
bee
you ain't
guy,
selling it.
yeah. But he man educated me on bees and how they. And I never thought I would be standing around a swarm of bees and literally walking through my yard with bees. Sort of, some of them land on me. They're just flying all around. Not nervous about it at all, man.
You
Bees.
got to think though, that's got to be a job that you love.
Well, this guy, he does. I think he does all kinds of extermination. He does, and he does like he traps, humane. If you've got raccoons or whatever you want to get rid, so he does.
But
He
I had a
does.
field day in your backyard.
I told him. I said, I don't know. I said, I like my strays. I don't like. If the bees would have built a hive in one of my oak trees, rock and roll. I'd put a house out for them. I don't know that the neighborhood lets you do that,
That'd be
but
called a beehive, Dave.
well, well, is it a beehive? No. There's a box. There's a name for the box. I think that.
Oh yeah, they can lay. I think that's how they harvest it when they get
Correct.
them in the
You
box.
put them in the box, and but yeah, I learned all kinds of stuff about bees. And once he got up there, and I'm gonna have he did as good a job as you can on top of a 2-story ladder,
Yeah,
cutting in. Literally had to cut the soffit out, bro. They had some honeycombs in there. I mean, like 2 big white buckets full. Yeah, I can't tell you. It was. I'll show you the picture. It was.
did you keep it?
No, he took it. Because he
Yeah,
he
I'm not a
relocated
honey
the bees.
person, but
He relocated the bees. He
Okay.
got, and the way you could tell, he got the queen. He said it's hard to tell because there's clumps of bees, and the queen doesn't look that much different than the other bees.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How on earth do they get the queen?
Well, you just you try to, and he had a little vacuum that he uses. I guess it's a humane vacuum that kind of sucks them in. And then once he put it on the ground, he could tell he had the queen because other bees were
Everybody
coming
else
around
does.
and they were sort of landing on the outside. He says because the queen releases the scent.
Pheromones or something.
It's like a lemony. He said it's like
Okay.
lemon, whatever. So he says you can set up bee boxes, or if you want to attract bees, there's this stuff you can put that'll attract bees. Now, I also learned when they're angry, if you want to agitate bees, it smells like banana. So if ever you find yourself near a beehive, y'all, don't be eating a banana. if
So do they attack the banana? I guess, or that's
they just
they
the
think
smell,
they're under attack.
that's exactly it's they're I don't know if the word's primal, but they respond
Yeah.
to that, and so it
So
agitates.
do they
it
take
makes them
all of-
it makes them aggressive.
Do they try to take all of the bees?
As many as they can.
All right.
But what happens is, dude, you're dealing with thousands and thousands.
Right. So what do the other ones do?
Okay, that's interesting. You said, man, there you go, Juan. There you go. Welcome to Dave and Juan's. Is it entomology? What's
Entomology hour.
there you go.
I
we're
guess
not-
I don't know. The honeybee. I mean, entomology is bugs. Is that do bees fall into that?
Close enough for government work. That's what we're going to do. So what happens in this case? So once he seals, and he has to seal it off, right? I mean, once you tears it out, and then like they were getting into, there's gaps. I mean, here's a news flash for most of you that have houses, especially houses that are over 2 stories tall. You don't know what's up there. You don't know where's a gap, that something separated, or and they don't need much room. And boy, when they find a nice hollowed out area that's safe from the weather, ooh, it's like the Ritz-Carlton for bees. So once he seals it, they come back at night. So for about a day and a half, I had a big clump of bees
Outside.
and they and then when he took out the honey and honeycombs, some of it dripped down the wall, and then all of a sudden you got all kinds of bees on the wall. But he said many of those were, I think he calls them soldier bees or scavenger bees, and they're just other bees that belong to other hives that just smell and sense, hey, there's honey, and they come do that. Here's something I didn't know. All right, here you go. Pay attention, America. You're going to learn something. So I always knew they smoke the bees, right? When they come to remove a hive, they have the smoke that they use. I always thought that the smoke would scare them away, or like it was because that part didn't make sense to me. Like, why, if you're trying to get the bees, you wouldn't want to scare them away. You wouldn't want them flying.
I just thought that made them more dormant.
It does,
Or
but here's
docile.
why. So I thought, is it a drug, the smoke? What's in there? What happens is the smoke it triggers something in them that it's like, oh, it's like there's danger, like something's on fire, something's burning, there's smoke, and their priority when that happens is to protect or to gather their food source. So they start eating the honey. So they produce honey and they got honey everywhere, but when they smell the smoke, they kick into, let me get in as much honey as I can. Let me eat a food, eat the food source.
For a source of energy, I guess.
Source of energy, and it's a survival instinct. So they're going to, and what happens is that's all their priority is eating, and they get sluggish. They just eat until, bro, just
I
like
hear you. I
just
know how they feel.
one can relate. Just like on a after Thanksgiving there, Hey, after Thanksgiving, if aliens popped into, your neighborhood and tore the roof off of your house, you'd probably be on the sofa not really feeling like fighting. You'd be sitting there going, "Oh Lord, I'm bloated, man. I'm gone flayed. I mean, take me, relocate me somewhere else." Just like the bees. The bees, they're full of honey and they go. Now, so, and then eventually, he told me bees, average bee lives about a month. So depending,
Wow.
yeah, 1 month. So depending on how old some of these bees were, they get stressed and they get stressed. So I didn't find a bunch of dead bees. Now I didn't go looking for them, but so they may have some.
How long does the queen live?
I don't know. I forgot to ask that. But the other
But
thing
when they're
was
closing it up, they're all out. No, none get left behind.
some did, and here's what happened. So now that naturally happens. So if it's airtight, then apparently those bees just die in there, and that's what
Okay.
happens. But when you got a 20, no, how old's my
Right, your
house?
house is airtight.
30 something years. So for about 2 or 3 days, 4 or 5 times a day, I'd catch a bee in my kitchen and turn it loose. I didn't kill any of them. I would catch it in a glass and I would turn them loose. So there were bees trapped in my soffit I don't know where they were going through the wall.
Right, they'll find they'll get in your AC vent some kind
They'll
of
crawl.
way.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking for light. They're looking to get out. So yeah. So I think they're all out now. I haven't caught a bee in a couple days, but
See,
but
I love knowing all that. To me, is some of the most interesting things.
that guy, I am not kidding when I said, like, I even told my wife, I said, man, if we can find 5 acres, 5 to 10, it has to be, apparently the law is weird. You can't do it because I talked to a friend of mine last night who I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he just bought 35 acres somewhere out in Middle Texas. But I was talking to him, dude, do you have any of those ag whatever? And he said, oh man, I looked into it, but like bees, you can't have more than 10 acres. So they'll give you up to 10 acres. You have to have 5. They'll give you up to 10 that you get tax free if you raise. But I'd do that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I was fascinated. I was like, man. No, and the funny thing, dude, I'm walking up to a swarming hive of bees, not remotely. And he was wearing all the gear. I didn't wear a thing. Just like, because they're not. You realize, for the most part, you got to go looking for a fight with bees. They're not.
Yeah,
They're not looking to hurt you.
especially like a wasp or something will go at you. But
Even
honeybees,
Yeah, even wasps, man. I look. We talked about this before. I'm at a point in life. I'm trying not to have to kill anything, man. Even wasp. I'm to the point where I'll just knock a wasp nest down and just y'all go find somewhere else to live.
Yeah.
Right. I used to be the guy. I'm just dumb spraying.
no, that's
raid.
it. If it's somewhere where I can reach it, like with a broom handle or something, let's knock it down or do
Yeah.
it. And they're also, I guess, like bees during the day, they're not really on the nest a lot. They just do it when they're not there.
Yeah. So whatever. That's but now I still got all kinds of spaces up there. So I gotta get somebody to come out here and
Do some caulking.
man, yeah, because I don't want to do it. I mean, that's the kind of thing I can do, but I find myself like, man, I'm standing 20 something feet in the air on a ladder.
Mm-mm.
You know what? $1,000 is a lot of money, but when you stand in 20 something feet in the air,
It's worth it.
yeah. But everything costs so much. I had some work done in Thibodaux yesterday. I shouldn't say I had work done because my mom ended up writing the check. So thank you, Liz. Watch, I got to pay my mom back on this stuff. Had a couple old lights that needed to get changed. Ballast on some.
You're right, right. We talked about that. Yeah,
Okay.
those,
So I got it priced, and it's a guy I've used before. I'm not gonna, and he's a good dude. He's a little older than me, and he's a good Cajun guy. I mean, just does stuff. And yeah, he bid me, and it was like $200 to go out and add 4 lights, but I needed 2 of them. The ballast, I
yeah.
think about change, whatever. And he gets out there, and I guess he's doing it, and then I get a call from him, middle of it, and there's one in the kitchen, and he just says, Dave says, I don't know what it is with these lights, but man, they're black on the side. It's like something burned. It's hot. He's just like it's just not. They're old lights. And he said they're just.
Mm-hmm.
Says I just don't think it's safe. He said I just don't think it's safe to change. I wouldn't change this stuff. It looks. So I'm like, all right. So I guess we got to just change the light. Well, if I got to change one light in the kitchen, you can't. It's 2 old lights. Like I can't have. So I said I guess I got to change them both. Go to. So I can go to Lowe's and get the. The lights.
The whole new thing, whole new picture.
And I'm like, yeah, let's just do that, man. Let's do that. And I didn't give it another thought, right? So my original bid was, my job was $200, parts and labor, $200 to get what and then I did. I expanded the job, and I didn't stop to say, hey.
Yeah, where we at?
So she ended up replacing two lights now instead of the fluorescents. They're LED. But to me, they're still like shop lights, but it's big bright lights for the kitchen, and changed the ballast on another one. Take a guess what the bill was.
I don't know. LED fixtures aren't cheap.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. That makes me feel a little better. And I got the,
Yeah, I'm guessing 5.
try 640. I know that just jumped over. Don't you, isn't it weird how, man, if that price comes in at like 5, I'm going, yeah. I guess.
But then because now it feels like it's almost 1,000 when you go over 5.
640, like, wait, what? This last night, and thankfully I got more sense now because I used to be, because I went to a wine tasting yesterday. But I'm not sophisticated Cajun here. We caught up with some old friends, and I had a gift of a wine tasting thing at Total Wine. So that's where we were. We had a lovely time. So I had a few wines in me last night. And it can go both ways. It's one that's very relaxing. It's very calming. But when something makes you mad and you had a few, sometimes your filter's not quite there, But thankfully, when I was texting, I started the text with, bruh, I trust you. But can you walk me through how we got up to $640 on this bill? A little bit sticker shock. And he responded like at 1 a.m. So he must have woke up and looked at his. And he wasn't mean. He just said whatever to change whatever. And he just his thing at the bottom was just stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
I said, well, you're not lying. You're not lying.
Well, here's what you ought to do with your mom. Is I told you a couple weeks ago I got some smart bulbs in my house. So put a couple in there and put the app on your phone, and you could change the brightness and the color from Houston while she's cooking, just to see what happens.
Yeah, my poor mom would think she was having a stroke or something. Colors start changing. Yeah, but so anyway, that's
it's not, dude. I got it wasn't the bill; it was an explanation of benefits. My doctor is part of the Ochsner healthcare system, the behemoth of Louisiana healthcare. And I have problems with my neck. And so my doctor, my just regular general practitioner said, well, go see here. You want to go to the pain management specialist? I said, all right, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. So she sent me there, and literally, okay, yeah, I get that. Well, we send you to the physical therapist. All right, fine. I get the bill, not for the physical therapist, but for the pain management specialist. Again, this is what the insurance would have charged. Yeah, my thing is I just paid a copay. Insurance would have charged $1,900. Then the hospital, the bill was $1,900, but because of the insurance discount, it was only $1,100. And so my insurance paid, all but that. Jeez. And I was there for 10 freaking minutes. So then I had to go back a month later, just the follow up. and said, "How'd the physical therapy do that? It's all right. It still hurts." And she said, "Well, do you want to do anything more extensive?" I said, "No." And okay.
You caught my price point. Yeah.
No, that one was $2,200.
What? $2,200 to say you didn't need anything else?
They asked me if I wanted anything else. I said, "No, I'm good. I'm not," because it's like, all right, that meeting appointment was 5 minutes.
It's disgusting, man. Now we had pain management specialists back in high school. They didn't call themselves that, but that's they hung out in Head Hall. They could fix whatever you had. We had Help Me Wimple. It was we had a store somewhere down the bayou that was known for. They didn't call it pain management, but
they called it feeling good.
They were dealing
all the time.
They were dealing with a little bit
dealing. I think is the operative word.
Yep. We didn't. I said we're gonna come back to it, but world stuff this week, y'all. Those of you that watched it, it was Trump met with Putin in Alaska. And it was what it was. I mean, it was. I'm glad
would anybody would expect it would be.
And I'm like, here's what I don't quite understand. The people that just have so much blind hatred that they cheer for bad things just because they're afraid that somebody they can't stand is going to get any kind of.
Have you seen the meme? Trump, today we cure cancer. Yeah, Trump opponents, we love cancer.
Look, he said they're going to clean up D.C. Now they're fighting to try to tell you that D.C. is not all right. So whatever. I mean, I think end of the day is like, yeah, let's try to stop a war. Let's can we just maybe have people stop blowing each other up? And look, Putin's nobody's fool, man. I don't care what you say. Yeah. Like I got a lot less problem with him than I do with some elected officials in this country. And I mean, that might not be the right way to be, but I'm like, my attitude is always with anybody. If you're the head of any country, you know what I expect? You're about that country. Right. Like that's how it's supposed to be. If you're Xi in China, if you're Putin, if you're wherever, Macron in France with his husband, wife, whatever it is.
Why would you have a meeting to discuss peace without Zelensky? And
that little frog is the reason it's still going on, man.
Right. And what I wanted to say on this whole deal, I mean, again, I'm not trying to get in those social media posts, but I want to say, you're right. Just let them two iron it out themselves. Let's stay out of it. And by out of it, I mean out of it.
It would have been over years ago. The only reason it's still going on is because the United States has refused. And when I say the United States, the former administration and guys like Lindsey Graham, who they haven't found the third world country they don't want to blow up or take over, or right. Just there's a reason. Like when we pulled out of Afghanistan, we left billions and billions and billions of dollars of equipment over there. Why? Because we have to buy more of it. So everybody that gets paid. So forget it. All right. So it is what it is. I think it's well established. I don't trust any of them. I don't. And everybody's imperfect, and Trump's an imperfect vessel. But sometimes it's like, all right, take that. But the move that was the Mac Daddy move of all moves, they coordinate these things. So Air Force One lands, and I think Air Force One got there before Putin's plane got there, and they're doing all this other stuff. And you gotta, the two, and it really is the two biggest nuclear
nuclear powers in the
world, and whatever. And oh, by the way, we were allies, y'all. And they did this on the day they met on the day of Japan's surrender all those years ago. Here we are. Japan now is our buddy.
Our buddies.
Okay. And Russia, who lost more people in World War II than anybody. I mean, they had blood in the game. These guys were our allies. All of us, well, no, for whatever reason, we're not anymore. But, shaking hands, doing whatever, and they're walking from the planes or walking whatever, and they freaking flew. Is it B-2?
I don't know what it is.
I knew what it was until we started the podcast.
It's the stealth bomber.
The big Batman-looking stealth bomber, right? And the F-16
the fighter jets alongside.
Fighter jets is on it. And they flew that son of a gun right over Trump.
Think of it as the timing at the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Yeah, when the jets fly over right at the right cue in the Star Spangled Banner.
And you know damn well they were circling somewhere else. right? That was just waiting,
Yeah.
and that was just a total show. And you know what? Loved it. I mean that's an
Well, because
alpha.
people always talk about that. For one thing, yeah, Putin likes to ride his horse without a shirt and show off his abs and stuff. Trump's about 2 feet taller than him to begin with, so
Yeah, but
yeah,
don't
he's
hey
already towering over him.
don't. Here's the deal, and I'll say that don't. Putin's KGB, bro. Putin.
Oh no, yeah, he can
Yeah, like, and
stab
don't
you
get
in
me
the
wrong.
neck.
Trump's like 6, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". I'm sure he tell you he's 6'6". I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
six six two
Trump,
ten.
Trump. I'm huge. I'm huge. I'd take Putin in a
Yeah,
in a fight. I mean, Putin's probably got that jujitsu. I mean, like, I got a feeling Putin would hit Trump with the earth, but Trump flew those planes over. I'm like, all right, and then got in Trump's car, the Beast, the big,
yeah.
that's a power move, and whatever. I'm glad they did. How about that, y'all? How about can they try to figure out a way? Like, let's stop blowing stuff up.
Right, but that's the whole thing. It's all people. Look how much Trump is smiling and touching him, and it's how dare he? Like
What you
what?
supposed to do? What I mean, okay, just get over it, y'all. Let's see what else is going. I'm just wrapping up here. A few things coming. I got tree guys coming over tomorrow.
Dude,
That's
you're just
always
doing all kind of yard work.
well. My neighbor, and I know he doesn't listen to the podcast. My neighbor got on my nerves. He's been on. He's not a bad neighbor, but he's an old guy, and we've always gotten along. He got on my last nerve the other day on something. He's all bent out of shape about the trees, and I got a big pecan tree in my backyard,
Hanging
and
over his.
yeah, okay, it does, and it's and I get it. Pecan trees this time of year they start dropping branches, okay. But look, we lived there 20 something years, and I've done a ton of stuff, and I get it. And my deal was he needed me to go over to see. I said I don't need to see. I and anyhow, so it irked me to the point of all right.
And I'm not. What is the rule there? If your tree
I
hangs
don't
over
know.
his property line,
I don't know.
I
Here's
think if a part that hangs over the property line is knocked down by a storm, it's on him.
I think so.
Unless you neglected a rotting tree that was obviously about to
Man, I don't
fall.
know, but here's what's annoying to me. It's like here's how I'd handle this kind of stuff. I go to whoever it's saying, say, "Bro, I tell you what, let's split it."
Right, that's what I was about to say.
No, he didn't offer to split. And dude, I mean, like, you'd have laughed. I might have channeled you. I was about as rude and short as I would be to a neighbor. To the point he was texting me after, like, apologizing and saying, "Oh, we must have miscommunicated, whatever," and we're gonna get over it. But it was just sort of one of those things, like, you caught me on the wrong day, man. I'm tired. I don't need. But anyway, so I got, and then you start pricing tree guys. That stuff's expensive too, dude.
Dude, yeah.
And you think it's expensive until you start trying to cut those branches.
No, I mean if it's up there, I mean you think about it. Watch that
Oh
process.
my God. It's like Planet of the Apes. You got people up in the trees.
Right, they're shimmying up a tree, hanging on a branch, cutting other branches.
And the deal is, so I've got 5 mature oak trees and a big pecan tree in my backyard here. I'm pointing like America can see it. But the problem is, and I got it priced. I said, well, just price me the pecan tree and then give me a price for all the trees. And the price for all the trees was not all that much more than just for the pecan tree. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense, man. He said, well, it's hanging over somebody's house. It's hanging whatever. We have to tie up everything. He said,
Tie up, then they got to tie up what they're cutting and
yes,
pull it and
right.
leverage it a certain way.
They can't, my oak trees, they can just get up there, cut and drop. And
Right, and they could probably drop a big branch with one cut, whereas the pecan trees over somebody's house, they might have to cut 4 or 5 times.
And I just pray these guys don't mess something up because I'm gonna have to deal with that too. But so that's going on here tomorrow. Same thing when I got the bees removed, man. It was $800. Okay, and I thought, golly, oh, I take it back. Wait. Is it 800? Yeah, it was 800. It was a lot, man. And I'm thinking before I got it, I think I'm overpaying this guy, dude. 2.5 hours in, I'm like, whoo, I might need to tip this guy. That's a lot of freaking work. But so I got pictures that I got that's going on tomorrow. What else, man? What we're chatting on beforehand.
Dude, So I went totally unrelated to this. We've talked about this before. If you go to buy underwear at Walmart, it's behind lock and key now. Like the glass is like some of the stuff in the pharmacy. So I went the other day, and I'm not trying to buy anything fancy, dude. I just wanted, a couple pairs of Hanes boxers. Well, now apparently,
now America, now you know. Juan's preference
Now
is
you
Hanes boxers.
Apparently, Hanes must be the brand of criminals because the Fruit of the Loom unlocked.
Unlocked Fruit of the Loom.
Hanes locked.
Didn't Michael Jordan wear Hanes? He was the big.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Okay. I mean, Hanes.
I said forget it. I'm just buying them on Amazon.
Why didn't you just buy Fruit of the Loom?
Because I was just annoyed.
Because you're loyal to Hanes.
Yeah, I think I have both, but
I'm gonna give America more information they need. I'm right now wearing almost like a neon green jockey boxer, not boxer. What is it? Boxer briefs.
That's like
my wife bought me. She ordered online the other day some jockey undershirts. For whatever, just all right. And she said, "Oh, it comes with a free underwear. Choose." I'm like, what do you mean choose? And she's giving me, she's listing all these. I'm like, I don't know. You tell me what I wear. I wear, I don't wear the briefs and I don't like the boxers. So it's it's the long leg brief.
Right, but it's like snug boxers.
Yeah, along the way. So came in today. I looked at that. I said, I'm not wearing that. She said, what you mean? I said, it looks like a leotard or something. It's but it was sitting on top of my drawer. So when I opened it up, I said, let me see.
What the heck? Who cares at this point? So
if this was a good podcast, I said I'm wearing new underwear.
It's bamboo fabric. Which seems to me wouldn't be comfortable, but bamboo is real soft stuff. Like you get bamboo sheets, they're real expensive.
So wait, Hanes makes bamboo?
No, I bought a different brand off of Amazon.
Oh, you bought yourself some bamboo boxes.
Bought some bamboo with a 3D pocket, whatever that is.
Nice.
I don't even want to think about that on the air.
I don't think you need to. Where are we, America? When we grew up, did anybody wear anything besides tighty-whitey?
Tighty-whities, bro. No.
And you knew if they were clean or not.
Right. And you knew that, so Hanes had the little, like the brown and black stripe. Fruit of the Loom had just a little blue stripe.
Blue? I thought it was blue. Wasn't a yellow in there, too? It wasn't a little
Yeah,
blue?
it was. Yep.
But that was universal, man.
That was it. Yeah, that was your two choices.
We all wore tighty-whitey.
Tighty-whities.
You could, yeah. And then now, well, same thing with socks. Socks, man. It's just white socks. You just wore white socks that they either came up to your knees or maybe your calf. That was it. Yeah. Now, oh, Lord.
Dude, then I got enough pairs of socks in my little sock thing to last a month, and I wear about 4 of them. And for whatever reason, I don't throw them away.
Yeah.
They're still good.
I got socks that you can see, especially my walking socks and stuff. If not a total hole on the verge of a hole, you could like hold them up to the light and you can see where like they're super thin.
That's just thinned out. That's still good.
Yeah, I just can't make myself. I can't pull the trigger on that. But it's part of being old. Also, those of you on Facebook, and it must just be algorithms I get into. If there's a hurricane and it's not in the Gulf of Mexico or going to get into the Gulf of Mexico, don't get me wrong. I could care less how strong it is. I could care less. All they're talking about is Hurricane Aaron. It's Cat 5.
Big curve.
It's dang near in the North Atlantic right now. I mean, hey, if you're a lobster fisherman in Maine, good luck. I got enough stuff to worry about. Right?
But this is the odd thing about it is you see reports. So my stepdaughter lives in South Carolina. So I'm seeing one thing today that somebody shared from today that said, for the next 4 or 5 days, 10 to 20 foot waves hitting the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina. Then I go look somewhere else. Oh, no, the storm's way the hell out of here. Ain't coming anywhere close to that.
Well, it's all clickbait, and that's the annoying stuff. I would rarely do that, but now I am. I'm like, not interested, Xing all this kind of stuff out. Or when they show you models, possibilities for 2 weeks from now, like, stop it. Stop
Well,
it.
that's weatherman's now, or weatherman's, Lord, weathermen now, they'll spend 10 minutes going over 5 different models.
Yeah. Stop
And
it.
it's like, what happened to the day when you told me what you thought?
Hey, what happened to the day when Nash Roberts
Nash Roberts
with
thought he was
his
going northwest, bro.
with his marker in his hand,
That's right, dry erase board.
dry erase board with, hey, this is what we're looking at, probably. And you know what? Nash really didn't know, but you felt better
Yeah,
about it.
no,
We
you sat there with your map from K and B and your pencil.
we talked about this before. It's just like Bob Breck. Bob Breck figured out along the way, I got to give you accurate information, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna put a happy face on it. Bob was always the one you'd want to listen to. He'd give you hope. Bob would say, I can't say it's gonna happen, but toward the end, if he just, he misses by this much. Bob was always the guy giving you this could miss, and if
it jogs just a little,
you watched Bob. Bob gave you a little bit of hope.
Bob only comes out now for the Hurricanes.
There you go. So I'm hoping it all stays away. I'm going to be heading to. I got to give this week I'm around, but I'm going to Mississippi in about a week. I got a speech to give in a place called. I don't think I've ever been to Magnolia. Where the heck am I going? Magnolia, Mississippi.
What part of Mississippi is that?
It's not far from you, man. It's probably only 2 hours from Baton Rouge. It's not on the coast. It's up. It's about 2 hours from New Orleans. I think it's about 2 hours from. But here's what's funny. So I forget, Hattiesburg, I guess, might be the closest big city, whatever. But there's a place to stay. I asked the people I'm going to, and there's some big tire company, some national tire company that's around there. So they have a really nice. The place is big enough. It's successful enough that they have basically a restaurant / meeting thing that they built. Okay, and they got a hotel, like an inn, that's where they put their people in, their execs and stuff.
Right, they've invested in the hotel to accommodate.
I think it's called the Magnolia Inn, right? So I'm like, and the guy told me, he said, yeah, it's pretty nice if you can get in it, So I go online, dude. You can't even register online. It doesn't take online registration. I had to call.
And they actually answered the phone there?
Answered the phone, bro. She put me on hold, then came back. Okay, darling, what can I do? Yeah, would you like a king or a double queen? I'm like, man, whatever's cheapest. I don't care. I'm only going to be there for whatever. And man, I ain't done that in forever. I talked to a desk agent. She gave me the pricing, took my information on the phone, gave me my confirmation number.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude, I hope when I show up, I have a room.
So we got an event from work that we're doing next year, and so I'm trying to call around at some of the hotels to assess their meeting space. And literally, I'm spending 10 minutes saying, how do I find just the local number of this hotel so I can get the sales department, not for the sales department of the entire Marriott chain?
You ought to bring me in to speak at your event, dude.
I'm thinking about it, man.
Now, first of all, I doubt y'all can afford me, but I'll cut you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We throw some money.
Okay, then hey, let's and I'll bite my tongue and talk good about credit unions while I'm there. And, no, I'm actually speaking at a couple credit unions coming up, so it's it's kind of funny. They're always like, the bankers, man. You get in front of a group of bankers, you don't say credit union, they get mad.
No.
And then credit unions don't want to hear it. Well, I don't think credit unions
I heard
care.
somebody say banking the other day, which is odd. Yeah, I said, okay, so can we use that as a verb?
Yeah, no, you are. If you're a credit union, guess what? You are in banking.
Right, right.
Banking. That banking is a service. Banking is an industry, and credit. It's not credit unioning.
Right.
It's banking. You bank with a credit union. And people, all right. That's a soapbox we're not going to get onto because it's a dangerous one for me. You know what, man? That's a heck of a buffet we put out there, bro.
Dude, I think we put it all out there.
I think it's all out there, man. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. Hope it did, y'all. If you want to find us, you know where to find us. If you want to reach us, get ahead of myself. It's Dave and Juan at protonmeal.com and find us.
And we'll be right here.
Dretla. However you got here. Whatever you did.
Do it again.
Shout out to my friend Ella. I saw an old friend last night at the wine tasting, and just randomly says, I want to tell you, I love watching your podcast. And I went, golly, I would not have thought you watched this thing. And I appreciate you doing that. but I kind of wish I didn't know you did.
Be careful.
And all you people out there, we thank you for watching and for listening. And it's okay if you don't tell me.
Right. Some of you just need to keep that to yourself.
Because I don't need to be worrying about right what somebody's going to think about this or
I don't worry about that much anyway. So
you don't
here even less.
We've been doing this 4 years and exactly, but there you go. We tell you every week, y'all. It's not a hint, suggestion, or even an implication. It is it's a
freaking mandate, bro.
It's a mandate. Go out and live your best life. Your best life. Your life might not be as good as the guy across the street this week. Next week it may flip. You never know. That couillon might be on a lucky street.
Yeah. Look at Dave, man. Dave's had bees. Now he's got trees.
Listen, I got lights that the bill goes up times 3. Yes, but
Dave
you know what?
may not be eating next week, but he's still gonna have a good day.
I'm gonna do my best. With some without the buzz in my house or the dangerous tree limbs, and I might even make up with my neighbor before. All right, but yeah, take your shot. Live your best life, y'all. We are going to do the same. I am going to be in Louisiana next week.
Yeah, hit me up.
We may have to be in the same room.
We could do it.
That would be bizarre. And good luck to your daughter. Your daughter starts school this week.
She moves up. We drive her up Wednesday. She moves into the dorm on Thursday, and then she starts the following Monday.
There you go. Fun times.
Yeah, I'm gonna be because I'll probably end up driving up there like early Thursday morning, and then driving back Thursday night.
There you go. Fun ride. It's a fun ride.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
Enjoy that. We'll hear the stories next week. Everybody, y'all have a fantastic one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So the other day I was at McDonald's drive-through. I don't go to McDonald's a lot, but sometimes I just feel the need to go grab some French fries or whatever at lunch. And then hate myself afterwards because I always feel like crap after. But so I'm in the drive-through and it's like a double drive-through McDonald's. So I'm at the window now, and so is the car on the side of me. But it seems like they're waiting a few minutes. And my assumption is always that they're just catching up. Okay? They're just getting the cars out of the line in front of us. I don't care. So I'm just sitting there chilling with my window down because I'm at the speaker. And then I hear very faintly, "Did you order?" And so I thought it was a speaker. And so I just said, "No." Then I hear again, "Did you order?" And I realize it's an older lady in the van behind me. And so I look back and I said, "No, ma'am. I wouldn't just be parked here. It's not my first time." Oh. Because I just figured you had ordered.
Okay.
And it's like, lady, do you see the car on the other side moving? Why would I sit here if I ordered?
You may have looked confused, Juan.
I guess. And it's like, it's in curb service. I'm not waiting for them to bring me my Big Mac. Did you order yet?
Thanks for keeping the line moving, ma'am.
Right. Yeah, I'm good. I did. I'm just going to wait here because if I get up to that window too soon, then I got to go back to work. And I'd rather stay here for the rest of the day.
Did you order?
Yeah. So anyway.
I ordered for you too, ma'am.
That's right. And I'm going to take it. What you want?
Hope you enjoyed the 12 McMuffins I just ordered you.
It's over. Go home.